everybody! What luck that I didn't have a stream on Monday or Wednesday, because now we have a stream for some pretty big news stories. I'm very excited. I was going to have this stream a little bit later because I'm trying to get my HBO Max video up, which is finally done. But then I saw Percy Jackson shoot to #1 on trending, and I was like, we have to talk about this now. I'll do more videos about it, like videos instead of live streams, when they start doing casting and the thing actually becomes more of a real thing. But we're going to talk about that today. So just so you know what the schedule is, a little bit after this stream is done, I'll put my HBO Max video up. Then at 3 a.m. tonight, the embargo lifts for Scoob. I watched it last night. So that'll be all ready. Again, the embargo lifts at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, basically midnight Pacific Standard when it's available everywhere. And then, of course, don't forget we have a Scoob watch-along party on Saturday. You have to have your own copy to participate, but we can watch the movie together. I can't wait on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm also wondering if a new Halloween trailer will debut that day, because they're having a watch-along, like a Twitter party. So we'll see what happens. You'll see my review for Scoob later today, but it's not a bad sign. Well, I mean, I think Warner Brothers is always a little bit scared of critics because critics can be quite cruel to the studio, but I see no reason to have delayed the reviews for Scoob. I would have lifted the embargo today. But maybe I can see them wanting to be like, when you read the reviews, you go buy it right then, which will be the case when the embargo lifts. So anyway, we'll get to today's 3 stories, and then, of course, at the end of the stream, as always, for the final 10 minutes, you can ask me anything you would like. During quarantine, anyone may watch all live streams, but only members may comment and are eligible for the viewer call-in show on Sundays. And there will be one this Sunday. A lot of streaming ahead of us. A lot of streaming. We got one tomorrow. We have the watch-along party on Saturday. And then we start up again on Sunday. All right, so before we get started, Justin's ahead of the group there. Where is everybody watching from? We'll give everybody a few moments to join us. So we'll take the break to, I like to say hi to everybody and see where you are across the globe. So Justin is eating cookies in Rhode Island. Fantastic. Daniel just finished Hollywood in Texas. Mika, I don't know if that story about Atlantis is true, so I can't cover it. Eric says, rainy California. Adam's in San Diego. Jabrino's in Toronto. Let's see here. Rodrigo is in South Texas. Let's see here. Gabriel is in the Bay Area in California. Elliot's also watching from LA and home. What were you eating? Let's see. It's going fast. Eating a late breakfast. Oh, that's pretty late. That's a brunch. Kate Winslet in Avatar. I saw that, Gwen. It's some behind-the-scenes photos of them shooting in some puddle of little things, I guess, to mimic water. So I thought that was pretty cool. But we don't know what her character looks like, but it's nice to see her on set. And I don't think it was leaked. I believe they posted the photo on the Avatar account, if that's what you're talking about, Gwen. Let's see here. Youngie says Netflix and chill ice cream in Southeast England. Lloyd says just made it at Home Depot to be preparing for tonight and just made it to Home Depot for gardening in a rainy Virginia. And then Dancing Dog says soaking chicken in milk to be prepared tonight in Boston. I was cleaning off my groceries yesterday and I accidentally broke the seal on my chicken, so I got to make chicken today, whether I want it or not. I don't know if I'm going to eat it, but I got to cook it today, so I'm a little bit bummed about that. Got to clean all my damn groceries. Madeline just got back from looking at a new house in Ohio. You're putting in an offer. Oh, good luck moving at this time, but that's very exciting. It's always change is always exciting. Thomas is having tacos, also in Toronto. Max is doing some art in Leeds, UK. Barbie's having burgers in Detroit. Oh, I ordered some ground beef for next week so I can make myself some burgers. I'm very excited. Since I have to work so hard to plan my food, it's on the brain a lot. Let's see here. Braden says, taking a break from reading my book in sunny Colorado for this amazing stream. Aww. And Lauren says, everyone, please be careful. All right, we got a good group going here. Let's get to today's stories. We have a really nice group of stories today. Very, very nice. All right, so story number 1. Hold on, let me make the marker. Boop. So if you're watching this not live, if you want to go to a specific story, you can look for the markers to indicate where we are in the stream. All right, so yes, it was announced today by Rick Riordan and his wife themselves on Twitter that Disney Plus is developing a Percy Jackson series, and they are intimately involved. I gotta say, who the heck is in charge of announcements over there at Disney Plus? I'd start making people sign a document saying, you're not going to announce anything till I say it's okay. Maybe Disney did say it was okay, but even if they didn't, it turned out to be a fantastic idea by Rick Riordan and his wife to do that, because again, it shot to the top on Twitter. Huge deal, everyone's excited, and if Disney Plus wasn't fast-tracking this beforehand, they probably are now. When's the last time anything was number one? I think Hamilton was number one for Disney Plus on Twitter, and also probably The Mandalorian when it first launched. So that's pretty big. So that's very exciting. I also thought it was funny that they started their tweet, "Hey demigods," which reminded me of Cats and Kittens, "Hey Cats and Kittens," by Carol Baskin on Tiger King. I was like, she's ruined themed greetings for everyone. Hey Derek, thanks for joining. Welcome to all new members today. So I thought that was hilarious. But there are a lot of demigods because, again, they got this to number one on Twitter. Now, this is very exciting, not just for Percy Jackson fans, but for anybody who's a fan of a Fox property that's hoping to get some Disney love. Like, for instance, many of you love Alita Battle Angel. Well, this is a very good sign for you because it means that Disney isn't adverse to taking Fox properties and blowing them up big. But the question is, how big would this be, right? Will it be a Stranger Things type show, or will it be a Disney Channel type show? I'm a little nervous about it. Let's see what they decide to do. Although, again, Riordan and his wife are intimately involved. Although, you know, at the end of the day, they want the show to see the light of day, so they're not going to shoot it down if Disney's like, this is what we're willing to spend on it. They'll be like, we loves it. Let's hope it works out. Now, my only concern, besides the level of the production, isn't this a little bit like Hercules, which of course Disney is also developing as a live-action movie with the Russo brothers involved. If I were the Russo brothers, I'd be like, what now? Although, they should call up their new CIA agents. They just joined the agency today and be like, I want you to kill this Percy Jackson show. Because they can't, I mean, that's a lot of Greek god content. So we'll see which can get to market first. It's a race between Percy. Which one would you be more interested in? Let's use the interactive quality of the stream. Which would you be more interested in? Would you? Yes, Red, you arrived fashionably late. Just in time for a poll. What would you be more interested in? A live-action Hercules movie or a Percy Jackson television show? You may also write both. Thomas is in Hercules. Oh, we got a Percy Jackson. Oh, Percy Jackson, here it comes. Percy Jackson fans were very nice to wait till the end of the question. Oh, it seems pretty mixed. Oh, I'm interested here. Boy, there's a lot of Percy Jackson love here. This is a real gold mine for Disney. I would be looking to cast this immediately. It's hard for me to make, wow, look at all the Percy. Wow, you guys, that's impressive. Oh, I like that someone was like, both. That's great. Although Disney points out that Netflix has a Greek god show coming up as well. That's actually animated. I actually know the writer on that. And so they also probably have a fire lit underneath them to get that done. They're like, we better get our show to market because this Percy Jackson thing is a freaking titan, to use Greek mythology lingo. But it's very exciting. I can't quite cast it because I don't know the level that they're going for. But I will certainly be covering this extensively when they pick a showrunner. Remember, when it comes to a television show, the most important person isn't a director, but it's the showrunner. And because, you know, there are so many episodes that you can't have a consistent writer-director. So you have someone who oversees the whole thing. And that's what a showrunner is. So we want to see who they pick as a showrunner. And of course, we want to see what the casting is. I suspect they will get new cast members. I know people really loved Logan Lerman and the like in the show. It was Alexandra Daddario, right? But I think, you know, they've obviously aged up, and I think they're going to want to keep the camp aspect to it, which was so popular. But do you guys want a new cast, or do you want the original actors? Hey, Nathan. Great timing. I was looking right there. Nathan just said hello right there. Addison was like, I did not like the movies. I thought the movies were okay, but they didn't sell why the books were so popular. When I watched the movies, I wasn't like, wow, no wonder but everybody loves this. I was like, it's okay. A lot of new cast. Clean start, says Eric. Anime lover wants a younger cast. Nicole wants a younger cast. Rashad's like, let's go to Hercules. What's all this Percy talk? That's great. But it's very, very exciting. I think Disney Plus, this is a shot to #1. That's got to be turning all the heads over at Disney Plus, who really wants to make, it's becoming very competitive in the streaming market. And this is quite the fun. This is very amazing. Now, where's our Alien television show, right? Although they can't put it on Disney Plus. Put it on Hulu! Damn it. All right, so that's the first story of the day. Your enthusiasm for Percy Jackson brings a tear to my eye, and also I'm sure to the eyes of Disney Plus executives. They're like, we really need it. Thank you so much. All right. So that's the first story of the day. All right, now let's go to the next one. Boop. All right. I say the boop because I enjoy the boop, but I know you guys enjoy the boop as well. It means a lot to me. All right. So Scarface, the second remake of the original 1932 film, is moving ahead with yet another director, Antoine Fuqua. It's not working out. So instead, they have a new director who I love. You guys are a little bit behind me, so I love seeing the boop in there. So anyway, Antoine Fuqua's out, but I think this new director is a better choice. So Luca Guadagnino, who of course did Call Me By Your Name. So let's work our way through Scarface. So those of you who don't know, Scarface is a film legacy at this point. The original film came out in 1932. It was inspired by Al Capone, who of course is on a lot of people's mind because Josh Trank and Tom Hardy have the movie out that's out right now, doing surprisingly well on iTunes, even though I feel the film is, well, it's watchable. It's watchable. It's got that going for it. Who's watched Capone here? Does anybody watch Capone? I have to wait for you guys to catch up to me. Does anyone watch Capone? The new one with Josh Trank. Josh Trank directing, Tom Hardy. No. Not yet. I like your positivity there. Oh, Survivor of Storm says, I killed it for him. I'm sorry, but it's true. Oh, Sabri's watched it. Sabri's just joined the other day. Let's see here. A lot of no's. Yeah, I wonder who's watching it. Somebody's watching it because it's #2. We'll talk about it on Sunday on Movie Mac. I also kept Mikey from watching it. It's not good. All right, so anyway, Sabri's also did not care for it who watched it. Hey, Jesse, thanks for joining. All right, so anyway, it's inspired by Capone. In 1932, the 1932 film, produced by Howard Hughes, explored the life of this Italian immigrant and how he came to America and became a criminal and what happened to him, right? So it's like the twisting of the American dream. So it was remade in 1983 with a script by Oliver Stone, Brian De Palma directing, and Al Pacino starring, but this time a focus of Cuban immigrants. And by the way, speaking of Tiger King, one of the people in the reality show, of course, was rumored to be the inspiration for Tony Montana. Now, I actually just rewatched Scarface. I hadn't seen it in a long time. I didn't remember it very well. Fantastic. Wow. It's like the Cuban Godfather. It's so good. I highly recommend that you watch it. It's a gorgeous movie, fabulous cinematography. Brian De Palma often sucks, but this was like one of the films is why everybody knows Brian De Palma's name. Highly recommend you watch it. And it's a really, it's based on the realities of they tell you about the history of Cuban immigrants at that time. It's really interesting. So Universal is like, it's time to revisit Scarface, right? Every 50 years we revisit Scarface. So they're going to redo it. The Coen brothers, where the heck are they? Well, they're rewriting Scarface. And this time it's going to be set in Los Angeles, and it's going to focus on Mexican immigrants, ripped from the headlines. Oh, it's going to be controversial, but I think it's going to be good. It's very important. It has very good people attached to it because it's going to get a lot of critiques. Portis, I don't think I've ever seen the original 1932 Scarface, so I can't compare the two of them. I'll have to watch the other one to get ready for the new movie. But for the people who have seen the 30s one say that it's very good here. So that's good. It will be not a bad thing for us to watch. So anyway, so it's a Mexican immigrant set in Los Angeles with a script by the Coen brothers. And now Luca Guadagnino is going to direct. Now, if you might recall from my review, Call Me By Your Name, I thought that he did a perfect job directing that movie. It's perfectly directed. We'll get to Oscar Isaac in a moment. That's very good casting, you guys. But anyway, although he recently played a criminal with Jessica Chastain, in fact, right, in a low-budget film, which I actually thought was pretty darn good. Anyway, Call Me By Your Name is incredibly well directed. It's a perfectly directed film. It's a really done very masterfully. And I feel that Luca Guadagnino, with the right property, could level up like Christopher Nolan. I think, with all due respect to Antoine Fuqua, I think he would have made the film a little bit more like just a B-level movie. But I think that, or a television streaming show, why don't you just watch Narcos? But I think Luca Guadagnino will make it a movie. Yes, I did praise Jessica Chastain, I guess. She was actually pretty good in that movie with Oscar Isaac. It's one of the better roles I've seen her in. Anyway, I don't know what's going to come first, the Call Me By Your Name sequel or Scarface. At this point, I would want the Scarface. I think Scarface, this is a great idea. But I'm curious to see who they'll cast. This is an incredibly hot role. Whoever will be the star of this movie, and I would not do anything with it. I would not gender bend it or anything like that. It should be a male character, and they should get, because what they've changed is the nationality. Pedro Pascal was already in Narcos, Heather Rose. I understand where you're coming from, but I think it's an interesting idea. So we'll see. But Oscar Isaac or Diego Luna, those are interesting choices, Barbie. I wonder if they'll go with a name or an unknown. I'd go with a name, because not enough people know about Luca Guadagnino. Suspiria was just a weird movie. I didn't see it even, in fact. It was like too weird for me, and no one cared about it. And I was like, I'm not going to get freaked out for no reason, but I think it'll be fine. I think that Call Me By Your Name is incredibly well done, although Lauren doesn't care for it. But I think it's very good. What I would do, Christopher, is I would have a star as the lead, and then I would get some unknown talent for the other roles. That's what I would do. But it's going to be great. I think this is shaping up to be, Universal's, they don't have as many movies as Disney, but when they have a movie, it's usually pretty freaking incredible. So very exciting. Yes, Hector, if you watch 1983's Scarface, it's very unnerving to see all these non-Latino actors playing people from Cuba. It's not great, but it was the time period, and it's very well done. So I wouldn't hold that against the movie. Just keep in mind at the time period it was made. But they obviously couldn't do that today. They'll have to get actual actors from the correct region, or at least the correct descendants. Sufjan, I don't think it'll be Spanish. That's an excellent question. I'm sure Luca Guadagnino would be like, maybe, but I think it would really hurt the box office. I don't think people unfortunately, Americans still don't want to read subtitles for the most part. So I just don't think it's worth it. I'm sure it'll have some sections where it's where it has Spanish, but I think for the most part they'll do English just because they just want to make sure. But it's a fabulous choice. All right, so that's the second story of the day. Now the third story of the day, here we go. Boop. All right, this is great. So Sandman is getting not a movie, but it's getting an Audible book on Audible, an audiobook, which is a division of Amazon. Amazon owns this. Do you like books? Well, Amazon not only will sell you a book, but they'll read you a book. And they have quite the coup here. Now, they got an all-star cast, I think largely because of quarantine. I don't know if this would be possible if it wasn't because of quarantine, but I think all these actors are available because they're like, we're just sitting in our home. Why not record Sandman? Yes, Joseph, it is the Sandman from DC Comics. So let's take a look at this cast. Look at that! What a cast! It's ridiculous! Oh my God! All right, so let me make it a little bigger so I can see myself here. All right, so Riz Ahmed as the Corinthian. I'm so glad to see Riz Ahmed get some more work. Remember when he was a big deal? It's very unfortunate that he hasn't stuck around. Kat Dennings as Death. Also glad to see her working. And yes, Taron Egerton as John Constantine. That's to me very interesting. I would love to maybe see, I didn't think, I said David Tennant, but Taron Egerton maybe on the HBO Max series. He was up for a Golden Globe, but he didn't get the Oscar nomination. I think Taron Egerton might be in a good space to maybe do the HBO Max series if he does a good enough job. I would love that. Neil Gaiman will narrate his own comic. James McAvoy is Morpheus. James freaking McAvoy. Samantha Morton as Urania Blackwell. Samantha, that's not a huge get, but very respectable. Bebe Neuwirth as the Siamese cat, also not a huge get, but very respectable. Andy Serkis as Matthew the Raven, that's fantastic. And then Michael Sheen, who's really can fluctuate his weight, boy, because he was much heavier in Good Omens, where he was a delight. But he will be playing Lucifer, and he's also excellently cast. This is amazing. As, let's see here, Lloyd Lester just said, what a cast. It's incredible. It's an incredible cast. This is actually available for pre-order right now. I think it comes out in July, right? But so you can have this read to you. You won't be able to see any of them, but their sweet, sweet vocal cords will tell the story for you. As I said, I think the other actors aren't going to stick around. Although if this is a really big enough deal, they could maybe try and do a movie with Sandman. Yeah, it's all right. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Joseph was developing this, and it didn't work out. But, you know, this is very, very promising. I think Taron Egerton, though, I think is the best bet at maybe sticking around. Very good bet at sticking around. Sufjan says, what is Sandman about? I've actually never read Sandman. I've looked into it a little bit. To me, it seems pretty hard to get into. It's typical Neil Gaiman. He's really hard, you know. It's like, let's see here. Good morning, Matt, 4:20 a.m. in the Philippines. But, you know, it's like, I think Neil Gaiman sometimes is a little bit too intellectual for his own good. I loved Good Omens on Amazon. You should really watch. I knew the other day I forgot to include a show when I was talking about Amazon shows, and that was it. Good Omens. Fantastic show. Co-starring Michael Sheen and David Tennant. But, you know, I tried to get into American Gods, and that was just, I think, too obtuse. I couldn't get into American Gods. And I worry that Sandman might have some of the same qualities. But with this cast, you might as well give it a go. All right, so who's going to listen to this? Who do you think might buy this? Who of you is like, I'll buy an Audible book and listen to it? I have to wait for you guys to catch up to me. A lot of Neil Gaiman fans here. Oh, Barbie, you're right. Coraline was excellent. Justin Slayer's like, American Gods, it's great, Grace. Although Lauren does not care for it. Oh, that's great. Oh, Karen, I like Karen. Sure, why not? It's also 4:22 for Samir in the morning. I appreciate you waking up or staying up late. I think you have to buy it. I'm not sure if it's part of the subscription. Elizabeth says, I got other books to do first. Waffles, straight out pass. Although Pyromatic Idiot says, I love audiobooks. That's great. I think it sounds really good. I don't know if I'm going to review it, Spencer. I have to see how long it is. I'm not a big person who likes to just listen. I haven't got into that yet. Tabitha Plays says, no thank you. Pretty good mix. Portis Audible does give you the first book for free, but I don't know if they would include this in that, because I think they're looking for it to drive a lot of traffic. All right, everybody, so let me get rid of this image. It's 4:24. You may ask me anything that you would like until 4:34, and then I must go. Anything that you would like. I don't have to necessarily answer it, but you may ask me anything that you would like. Oh, Scott, yes, I would love audio. Hi, Scott. I would love audiobooks if I was a car person. You're right. I know you do it a lot when you commute. But I'm never in a car, so I don't need them. Jonathan says, are you excited for the Lord of the Rings series? I am, although I never really got into the Lord of the Rings lore. I did enjoy the recent conversation about who was the hottest person in Lord of the Rings on Twitter the other day. I don't know if you saw that. But I feel like, to me, they're cozy movies, and I like being in, and they're a little like Harry Potter. I like being in that world, but I don't know that much about that world. Let's see here. Elliot Buck says, thoughts on Dakota Johnson joining the cast of Don't Worry, Darling? I think it's great. I think Dakota Johnson's a surprisingly good actress. She doesn't get enough credit for that. I thought that a lot of what made 50 Shades of Grey work was her performance. Megan says, who's the nicest celebrity you've ever met? From my red carpet experience, Hugh Jackman was a darling. But my red carpet experience, the two nicest people I've ever said, yes, that's right, Mika remembers, are Colin Farrell and Jude Law. They were incredibly kind people. Let's see here. Ingrid, I didn't watch Dead to Me Season 2, but I'm impressed with how popular it is. Nathan says, do you have a take on the Ellen DeGeneres backlash? I'm a fan of Ellen. I feel it's a little weird that, I think there have been rumors about her not being so nice for a while now. And I think that you think she would have realized that the ladder was falling and, that she should have taken care of it. I actually saw Ellen DeGeneres once outside of Hermes here in New York. She was going in after it was closed. And she didn't seem like a nice person, to be honest with you. She seemed pretty upset. And I thought maybe she was just having a bad day. That seems to be her natural state. I think it's tough for celebrities. I think that, you get asked for stuff a lot. So I think maybe that might be a part of it. But I think she needs to work on her image. Pastor Madeline says, what are my favorite pair of shoes? I like boots. I like black boots. Portis 2, I'll probably review Harley Quinn Season 2 when it's over. The way that they're streaming it makes it very difficult to cover. Let's see here. Justin Slater says, WandaVision in August now? That's a rumor. That's a rumor. I don't think they're going to switch, as I said the other day. I don't think WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to switch because WandaVision needs to be at the same around. I don't know. We'll see. But I think that there's a lot of. Please be careful right now. People have nothing to cover, so there's like a lot of rumors. Let's see here. Let's see here. It's going fast here. Hold on. Let's see. I did see, Braden, that Jerry Stiller died this week. And I thought it was wonderful, the outpouring of support for him. I thought that was not only nice for Jerry Stiller, but so nice for his family to see that his work was appreciated. Thank you, Justin Slater. That's very sweet of you. Elliot says, favorite burger topping. I like light mayonnaise on my burger. I've given up cheese, so that's my new guilty pleasure, some little light mayo. Let's see here. Portis 2 says, Grace, will The Boys Season 2 be delayed? Hey, Heather, 87, thanks for joining. I'm not sure if it will be delayed or not. There was supposed to be a trailer, as we discussed beforehand. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I don't know where it is. You would think that they would rush it. They keep teasing stuff on their stupid Twitter account. It drives me nuts. Let's see here. Tabitha says, what is your favorite type of pizza? I like pepperoni pizza. I like all pizza's very good. I like plain pizza, pepperoni pizza, and sometimes I like Hawaiian pizza with ham and pineapple. It's excellent. Let's see here. Oh, Statuesque says avocado is a great substitute for cheese. I made myself soft tacos the other day, and I did put fresh avocado in them, and it was delicious. DC Fan says, what's your most anticipated DCEU movie? I'd say Wonder Woman 1984. I can't wait for that. It looks great. I just can't wait to finally see it. Nacho Flores says, favorite housewife. We know you watch them, Grace. I am watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's super trashy this season, and Denise Richards is having a meltdown, which is kind of fascinating to watch. It's getting a little too trashy for me, but I still like it. I just can't look away. I'm very curious to see what happens this season. Let's see here. My ears are popping for some reason. Dancing Dog, you can't eat popcorn with a mask. Thomas says, what's your favorite episode of Harley Quinn Season 2 so far? Every single one. The show is an absolute delight. I thought, like, the last episode, I was like, this should be longer. It's so amazing. I wish they would let us binge it. Youngie, I am going to stream tomorrow because I missed 2 streams this week. You guys are promised 4 streams a week, so I'm going to stream tomorrow as well. We have 4 minutes left. Jose, literally just finished college, business marketing major. Thank you for years of entertainment that helped me get through it. Oh, it's my pleasure. How exciting for you. That sounds like a great career to embark on. Let's see, what was that question? Anna says, Grace, are you more excited for Tenet or Mulan? Maybe Tenet just a little bit more. I'm excited for both of them. But I'm excited for Tenet because I really don't have a good enough idea of what the movie's about. And I think Christopher Nolan, it's exciting to see him get back into the blockbuster arena. Let's see here. Cedric, I think that Warner Brothers will continue Wonder Woman's ad campaign when they decide what to do about Tenet. If Tenet's opening, I think they'll have a new trailer for Wonder Woman in front of Tenet if it does open. Madeline, yes, Melissa McCarthy, it seems, is Ursula for sure. She's talked about it so much and recently. Elliot says, if you were Harley Quinn, would you prefer the giant mallet or the bat? You know, at first I was all about the mallet, but, you know, I don't think you could realistically carry that. So I think the bat is like a good substitute, and I've come to love the bat. So I like the bat. I think it's good that they switched over to that. Hector says, are you liking Garcelle Bouvet in Housewives? I thought the story about what happened between her and her husband was so sad. I felt so bad for her. I was like, wow, that's like horrible. Basically, her husband, she found out he was having an affair for 5 years. That's just so horrible. But she seems to have some very nice sons. I feel bad she's not mixing in more. I'm not sure whose fault that is, if she's not making enough of an effort or they're not making enough of an effort to bring her in. But I'm glad they have some diversity on the show. Dancing Dog, I think Amanda Seyfried just isn't a big enough star for Dolphin. I would try and get someone else. Although they used Amber Heard, she is an Amber Heard equivalent, so maybe. Stasio, I don't think anyone from New Mutants will cross over into the MCU. I think Kevin Feige, we've heard it, he's extremely protective of what he's building. He doesn't even want Ryan Reynolds in there, it seems, so he's not going to bring it on to Taylor-Joy. Josh Loves Movie says, Karen Gillan for Giganta. I am hearing that they do want her for Pirates, so she's a Disney person. You know, I mean, she did do Jumanji for Sony, but between her work in the MCU and now Pirates, she's going to have all her big movies, if they can close that deal. And I think they will. Sean, I think Anya Taylor-Joy just dyed her hair red for fun. Sufjan says, is there a possibility that theaters won't open in July? I think there's a real possibility that it won't open in July. I really do. Daniel, I'm so glad you enjoyed Upload on Amazon. Everyone should watch it. It's amazing. Justin says, what if New Mutants hits 1 billion? It will never hit 1 billion. It just won't. It didn't even trend when it got a release date. It's not going to. Everybody knows it's done. Oh, it is time. Thank you, Lloyd. I'll do 2 more questions. Let's see here. Jake says, career advice. Any tips for someone looking to get into casting direction? You know, to be a casting, to do casting director? Yes, you should go and try and intern for someone who does casting. That's what I would recommend that you do. I'd certainly call up their office and recommend and see what they recommend in terms of what you should study and stuff like that. Favorite popcorn flavor? Good old traditional butter. Emilia Clarke would be pretty good in Aquaman, but she seems to have jinxed a lot of movies. I'd be scared. Oh, Lincoln, that's a good question about Hamilton on Disney+. Any idea on trailers? Probably after Artemis Fowl on June 12th. Artemis Fowl comes out June 12th. They're going to want to focus on that. And then I think they'll probably start promoting Hamilton right after that. They don't need to promote it too far in advance because everyone's already excited. All right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your day. In about half an hour, the HBO Max video will go up, and there will be, and of course, check back at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard for Scoop. And more videos tomorrow, as well as a live stream. All right, bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Bye.